I'm in love with half of this device. This half. Hello and welcome to Dumb Phones UK. My name's Joseph. I look at dumb or dumber devices on the UK market, and today we're looking at the minimal phone. I've been using this device and I've created a review for you lovely people of things that I've noticed as I've used it, the good, the bad and downright ugly, that I think are going to be useful for you. And there's going to be some stuff in there that you've probably asked yourself, will Android Auto work? It's supposed to. There'll also be other things that from using the phone I've experienced. So I just want to showcase that and show you those bits and bobs. And there might be things I've missed, and if that's the case, that's fine. Pop a question below and I'll help out where I can. Before we hop into this video, I would love it if you could like and subscribe, because it helps me, it helps you, it helps the channel. It means that I can bring you more devices like this, and that is only a good thing, right? I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Who's this device for? It's such a good question. It's a great question. I would say there's going to be people who fall into two categories. One, and I put myself in this category, people who love a physical keyboard. I love them. I absolutely love them. And I would have said that that, just on its own, would be enough for me to use this device as my daily driver. However, other things are at play which maybe mean that that isn't the case, and we will go into that in the video. The second group of people who I think would like this device are people who want to be a little bit more intentional with their phone usage, because this e-ink screen really slows down your phone usage. This phone is very powerful in that it can do everything that it runs Android 15. So it can do anything and everything that you want it to do. I'd argue there are some things you don't want it to do. You don't want to be watching videos for hours on this. It's not a good experience. I do think if you want to be more intentional with your device, then this could be a good answer for you. I wanted to get out and about with the minimal phone and show you how it worked in everyday life. So here's a couple of shots of me out in the park, and there's the lovely phone. As I've done a lot of videos with this device inside, I wanted to get it outside so I could show you what the screen looks like in bright sunshine. And hey, luckily in the UK I managed to find a day that actually had some bright sunshine. So I've popped it in the grass and I'm just having a play with it. And this is a fairly true representation of what the screen looks like. I wanted to showcase this wonderful keyboard, this wonderful physical QWERTY keyboard on the device. So in this video, I'm just out and about in the park and I've just sat down and I'm just typing out a message. I have to be honest, this is the main selling point of the device for me. This is something that I've really missed. So I absolutely used to love my BlackBerry devices, so having a QWERTY, a physical QWERTY keyboard is huge for me. So the actual ability to type and see the keys that you're clicking is amazing. And you'll see that on this device as well, as I'm typing away, everything works pretty well. I don't particularly use the suggestions that come up with the words you can see on the keyboard there. You've just seen that I've tapped one. I don't use that much when I'm using the device. I just use the physical keys. But I would say the ability and having that physical keyboard is massive for me. It all works pretty well. A few people have complained of lag online of when they're typing. Maybe the sort of output is slightly behind what you type, but it's not the end of the world. It's not something that I have seen as a problem with this device. So I wanted to also showcase the fact that it had a symbol key. So clicking that symbol key brings up a list of symbols, and then you tap on the screen what you want to show, and then you can click that symbol key again to remove it and have the whole screen real estate back. I think that the software works quite well that comes out of the box with this device. I've moved into the Notes app here. The other thing that I just wanted to highlight with this device is, as you're going through and typing, if you make a spelling mistake and it can guess the word that you're trying to put down, it will give a sort of vibrate. It will shake briefly to let you know that it has made that change. And that's something I really like with the device as well. It sort of gives you a warning that it has changed it. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well as another nice little feature for this phone, this physical keyboard. And as I said at the start of this, let's be honest, this is the selling point, isn't it, really? This is the one. One of the key expectations of this device was that the battery life was going to be really good with it being an e-ink display, and a lot of talk online has suggested that that isn't the case. So I just wanted to showcase my battery experience, and I'm using this device between sort of 30 minutes up to 2 hours a day, and I'm not using loads of social media on it, I'm not using loads of resource intensive things, and I'm able to get 3 to 4 days out of it. I would say that's me being fairly cautious and sensible on the device, but overall, the battery life of this is better than a smartphone, an iPhone that we have at the moment. I wanted to showcase the screen performance on an app that I use quite a lot. So I use The Athletic as an app, which is a sports journalism website, and you can see by default it's in dark mode, and dark mode doesn't render particularly well on this device. I think I can showcase that by hopping into an article to show you what I mean. So you'll see there's a lot of ghosting on this screen, and that's just by loading it. And then if I start to scroll down, you can see the picture has sort of printed itself, and it becomes quite hard to read. There is a button on the side of the device that you can click, and it will remove that ghosting for you. That is very handy. They clearly have thought about that. But just wanted to sort of flag up that dark mode and apps that by default have dark mode do make it quite hard to read. You can see the level of ghosting here just as I sort of go through the different pages, and it is usable. I will state that it is definitely usable, and if I'm quicker to refresh it with that button on the left hand side, then it is possible, but I wanted to flag that it doesn't look great. Here's the same article in light mode. It's okay. It's sort of a bit better than dark mode. It's readable. There is still ghosting on it, and I think that's really worth noting, and something, if you're willing to put up with the ghosting, or if you're willing to click the e-ink button on the side, then it is workable. The ghosting that happens on this device, you can see it behind that section there. There is the button on the side that I can click, and I click it and it disappears. So obviously there is a way to get out of it and round it, but I just wanted to flag it that if you're not willing to do that, you are going to either end up with a device that ghosts an awful lot and doesn't refresh that often, or this isn't the device for you. I think that is a really fair assessment. You can see here I've just loaded up the CityMapper app, and you can see the sort of lines streaked down the screen, which is a shame because I do think that this screen could perform better. I think the physical keyboard is a massive plus. The actual screen performance is sort of low to medium level. I don't think it performs particularly well. Now, I wouldn't ever use this phone for social media. You can see how it tries to render. You can see stuff on the screen, but it really doesn't work and doesn't look particularly nice. But I just wanted to showcase what it looks like if you try and load, for example, Reels on the device. It isn't something that I would recommend. With its e-ink screen, I thought it would be useful to showcase a e-ink application, I suppose. So I use a Kobo for all of my reading, and so I downloaded the Kobo app, and within that I just popped on and I've opened an Ian Rankin book, I believe, and I've showcased it earlier without the backlight. I'm now showing it with the backlight, and then I'm also popping on the warm setting as well, so you can see all of the different variations and options that this phone offers with the e-ink device. And I just wanted to show you a bit closer up on how the text renders on this, just to show, you know, it's not as clear as you'd expect it to be, but it is still readable. Here I am opening CityMapper, and it takes 2 seconds to open and to be ready to use. And again, I did the same on my iPhone X, and that took 4 seconds to be ready to use. So the minimal is quicker on that regard. And the one thing I wanted to do was just show I use this device to navigate to and from work, to and from meetings, bits and bobs, and it is possible to use as a daily driver because you can download any app on it. I don't want to spend too long talking through each individual app because you'll have your favourites, you'll know what you like to use, but I just wanted to showcase that it is possible to use and it works really well. So while the screen might be a little bit, what's the right word? The screen is a bit laggy, the screen is not great. That's probably what I'm trying to say. So while the screen isn't great, you can still make it work for you and utilise it as you want. This is a really quick section to run through things that I've used on this device, and they're not extraordinary, so it's not worth doing a long video on them. But things like Spotify, podcasts, they all work absolutely fine. NFC, using this phone to touch to pay, works absolutely fine. I just wanted to tick those off so that you know that I've tried them and they all worked, but I didn't get videos of them because I think it'd be quite dull for you to watch. As we'd expect with this device, it is able to connect via Bluetooth, so I've just grabbed my pair of headphones, I'm setting them to pairing mode, as you can see, and then when I hop onto the device, the minimal phone, I'm going to pair a new device, and I can select my Bose SoundLink headphones there, and it's currently pairing, which is great. And then later on in this video, I'm going to showcase that you are able to control your phone using your headphones, which is, I know, some people want to check whether that is feasible and possible. And then you'll see that on the headphones I pause with that button, and you can see the actual video has paused. I can then click that button again to restart it, and then I can control the volume as well. You can see that in the background going up and down, which is great to see. So the Bluetooth works really well. Signal-wise, I've never had a problem with this device. It's always been pretty good and in signal. And the other thing that I wanted to do was take a phone call, pop it on speaker to show you how loud that can go. So I've got it on full volume, so bear that in mind when it's coming out and broadcasting into the camera microphone. This is just me chatting away to show you that the speaker works on this device. I'm sure I'm far enough away in another room now so that you're able to hear that that's working, but phone call wise, this phone is pretty good. The phone has wireless charging, which is great. You can see I've popped it on the wireless charging pad. But one thing I noticed is when the phone is wireless charging, you're not able to do anything with it. So on my iPhone, if that's wireless charging, I can still use the device. Here, there's a cat, everybody. I'm not actually able to do anything on the device. So I wanted to flag that. It can wireless charge, but you can't use it while it's doing it. Now, you can take photos using this device. I would say the screen makes it quite hard to see what you're actually looking at, but it is possible. So what I've done is I've gone out and I've made some photos of the park out and about using my iPhone. Then I've downloaded Gcam and I've compared the two as well. So you'll see those here. Just like photos, you can take videos on this device, and again, I wanted to showcase that it really doesn't render well if you don't have the right settings on your phone. So you can see here, while I am recording, that phone is strobing an unbelievable amount just trying to take that video. So what I did, I took some videos with my iPhone and on the minimal, and I'll pop them side by side so you can see the comparison between the two. Now, bugs that I've noticed on this device, as I was filming, as I was out doing my videos in the park, standing like this, twice when I tried to record a video, this reset itself, closed itself down, started itself back up. No rhyme or reason to that. Then when I went to film it to try and replicate it to show you, it didn't do it on the third time. Sod's law, I wasn't then filming on the fourth time, and it reset itself again. There's no rhyme or reason that I've seen, and I don't know if other people are experiencing this, but I wanted to flag when I'm doing something that's resource intensive, like filming a video, I have found that it will restart the device, which if you're trying to record a special moment that you can't repeat, not ideal. The other thing that I wanted to note as well is due to the size of the device, you can see here that it's quite a big device, I hold it like this. And that often means that my thumb sits on the fingerprint sensor. So it will sit on the fingerprint reader and it'll unlock it. Now, that's how I pop it in my pocket. I'll lock the device, I will then hold it, pop it in my pocket, which means that it then has unlocked in my pocket. And so as I'm walking along, I often hear some beeping or some noises. That's because by setting up my thumb as the pattern to unlock that, as I put it away into my pocket, it unlocks it. So what I've had to do there is I've had to change it, and I've made it different fingers so that it's not my thumb touching it. And that seems to have resolved it, but I wanted to flag that to you because it's something I noticed and I sort of thought, how's this happening? That's how it's happening, because it's very natural to pop your thumb there and unlock it. The other thing I found as well is when I'm walking, I might have this in my back pocket. One thing I've noticed is as I'm walking, occasionally this emergency button has been clicked, which then allows me to type in different numbers. So as I'm walking, I'll hear, and I'll be like, what? I've not done anything on my device. So often what's happened is my bum, is that fair to say? My bum has unlocked my device, and then it started typing numbers as well while it's in my pocket. So another thing to flag, another thing to note, just so you have all of the information there. Again, probably quite easily solvable, but just worth noting. I wanted to try and get this set up with Android Auto, and the great news for everybody on this channel is I've finally got a car that has Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, whichever one you want. So that is fantastic news. And I've heard great things about the Minimal. I've heard that you can set it up and it will work on Android Auto. I'll be completely honest, on the first go for this, that did not work. So with a change of cable, I was then able to connect up the device to Android Auto. You'll see here that when I click accept, I get this welcome to Android Auto message. One thing I wasn't able to do was click continue on that. As you can see, I keep clicking continue and nothing is happening. And then the next thing that I noticed was that my phone was saying Android Auto was disconnected, but obviously, as you can see, it's actually working. So it's working, but there are some slight sort of discrepancies between it, if I'm completely honest. But overall, it's working. You can see that I can use my phone to type, and obviously that isn't the plan while I'm driving. I'm parked up, I've got my handbrake on, and I'm in a safe place to do this, so I was able to sort of showcase both. But right now you can see that I can use both the screen and both my keyboard to type, and it all works. And then I figured it was worth doing a call as well to show you that I could call and I could use Android Auto for everything that it is there for. So this is just me calling. Please leave a message and we'll give you a call back as soon as we know. Alternatively, tickets can be booked on our website, www. But that all works pretty well, so just needed to find the right cable, and then I was able to get it set up and working. I figured it might be quite nice to just show me using the phone as I was out and about waiting for a gig, so this is me just going through and using it as I would use the device. So I was looking for gluten-free restaurants nearby, and you can see how everything is loading. I'm just using the usual Google Chrome browser here. I'm then hopping into a website, and you can see that everything is rendering and it is usable. There are a couple of things that don't render particularly well, but I'll click that e-ink refresh button and then I can basically use it as I want to. I just wanted to showcase that it is possible to use this device out and about, and this is how I've been using it. So I'm just going to leave this to play out, so enjoy it if you want, and if not, skip on forward a little bit. As I mentioned at the start, I love this. The typing experience on this is brilliant. This is not brilliant. The screen isn't quite there yet in my eyes. Now, I fully understand e-ink and I understand what we expect from e-ink. I've used a Kobo for ages, I've got the Mudita Compact, the Big Me High Break. I sort of understand the e-ink world. I just basically think they're trying to do too much. By having Android 15 and allowing this to sort of run all of the apps that you want, even though they're not optimized for e-ink. I think that's where the bugs come in. I think that's where problems exist. Look at the camera. When I showed you the camera on that video, as you're trying to film a video, if you've not got on the right setting, and it is possible to have on a better setting, it just strobes away and makes it almost unwatchable. I just don't think the screen is there yet. And for that reason, this isn't my daily driver. I would love to get over that. I would love to be using this keyboard every day, but the screen isn't quite there yet. So maybe that's that I have to change the apps that I'm using. There's an argument there that maybe I literally just use this for phone calls and text. And I mean, the hardcore out there among you would agree with that. One, the main thing that needs to improve, and I think this goes for everybody who's ever dealt with them, I do think the company and their communication needs to improve. Let's not beat around the bush. It is rubbish. It's rubbish and it needs to get better. Hopefully that will improve as more people tell them it's not good. Hopefully things will improve. They sort of have this strange system where they reveal stuff on the Discord. What if you're not on the Discord? This is designed to be minimal, right? This is designed with minimalism in mind. Well then, arguably, there's going to be a lot of people who are practicing minimalism and aren't on the Discord. So therefore, why not email out updates to people? I definitely wanted to address that the company aren't good at communicating with people. That is something I know, it's something you know, and that does need to improve. The second thing that needs to improve is this screen. I do think this screen can improve, and I think there's going to be a case for e-ink specific applications, so e-ink Pro for e-ink browser as an example. But I just think at the moment, as it is, this screen is okay. And is okay good enough? I'll let you decide. Please do like, please do subscribe. It really helps me, it helps you, it helps the channel. Other than that, behave yourselves. I'm gonna go think about this keyboard a bit more. Bye-bye.